Good evening, Facebook friends. This is Sieg Taylor coming to you live from Albany, Georgia. And we have a special guest this evening, all the way from California. So I'm going to invite her on here. There she is, Kelly.
Hey, Sig, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, I'm just getting ready to welcome you, Kelly. So good evening again. My name is Sieg Taylor, and we have a special Facebook Live tonight. And as you know, with Facebook Live, anything can happen, where we talk to our friends who are living the dream. And I'd like to introduce to you tonight a good friend of mine, Kelly Vella. How are you, Kelly?
I'm good. How you doing, Sig?
I'm doing great. Hey, thanks for joining us this evening, Kelly. You know, you and I have been friends for years. Matter of fact, I've known your husband since I was in high school. And I got a quick story to share. His cousin Greg and I were best friends. And whenever we needed a beer run, we would call Vinny. And Vinny always came through us for us in high school with drinking beer. Now, I hope my kids aren't watching this.
I can't believe he never told me that story.
Oh, absolutely. It was all the time. Greg, where's Vinny at? We need some beer. We got to run to the lake and have some fun. So anyway, wonderful. Again, thanks for joining us. And again, just as everyone's coming on board here, just welcome. We got Canada in the house.
Really?
Okay. Absolutely. We got Canada in the house. I'm going to give her a little wave here. So as you're coming on, show me some love. Give me thumbs up. Give me some hearts.
Are they going to go across the screen like this? Like when you're doing okay, that's going to be awesome.
They're going to bubble. They're going to bubble as they're coming on board. So anyway, usually I come to you from my hometown, which is on the Emerald Coast of Florida, but I am doing some bass fishing up in Georgia here, and I'm in Albany. I'm pronouncing that wrong, Georgia. So anyway, welcome. And Kelly, listen, we've known each other. I am amazed with what you've been able to accomplish, living your dream. Let's start from the beginning. How the heck, when did you fall in love with horses? Let's start with horses.
Oh, my mom used to put me to sleep on the horse when I was a baby. I mean, I was raised with horses. That's all I did. Just rode and rode and rode. My horse shoer always said he wished he had a dime for every mile that I rode.
Yes. A matter of fact, what's interesting is I automatically know what a farrier is, but this evening I'm having dinner with some of the guys I've been fishing with. They're like, what's that?
Oh, I put horseshoes on horses.
Yes, you put horseshoes on horses.
Yes.
How is that? How old were you when you put your first set of shoes on a horse?
I was 21.
You remember that? You're 21.
Yep.
Walk me through that and on what inspired you to do that.
No, this is good. So I was working on a ranch making $157 a week. So I was kind of close to poverty level, which is around 10 grand a year. It's not a whole bunch. And
yes.
Had a horse that needed to be shod, waited till the last minute to call anybody. And then everybody I talked to is like, I got a broken toe, this, that, and some lame excuse. And I'm like, well, if you don't do it, I'll do it. And they're like, fine. I'm like, fine. So the day I pulled this poor horse out to shoe him, I had no idea what I'm doing. And I think I was trying to clinch the nails with channel locks, I think. But the good shoer in the area and his helper came out to the same barn where I was at. And so his helper kind of helped me out and showed me how to shape shoes. And anyway, the horse was not lame. I think he was lame to start with, actually. And then somebody told me I couldn't do it. And then I just kind of
that's not good to have someone to tell Kelly Vella that you can't do something.
Yeah, so I kind of ran off from there, and I made a big mess of it for a while, but luckily I finally found the right tutelage, and started doing farrier competitions and traveling around the world. Met a bunch of really cool people.
Yeah, and around the world, what places? Give me some places that are memorable to you as you're traveling around the world.
Australia, Canada. I went to France a couple times for horseshoeing competitions. England, the Isle of Man, which is a really cool island. It was during the TT races, which is like the world's biggest road motorcycle race. So the average speed is like 140 miles an hour. and they're on the wrong side of the road, except for the Germans drive on the same side of the road that we drive on. So the Germans would be on the wrong side of the road and come around the corner, and this guy be staring you right in the face. You're like, oh, we're going to die.
Oh my gosh. So you've been virtually, when you say you've been all over the world shoeing horses,
Yeah.
you have.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me, how do those competitions work when you're shoeing horses?
Well, it's handmade shoes made from just straight bar stock. So
Really?
yeah, it'll be a straight piece of steel, and you have to like forge something crazy. So it's not even just normal shoes that go on. It's like some wild shoes, and a lot of forge welding and bumping and heel cocks and stuff. You have no idea what I'm saying.
No, I don't. But here's the thing. We got just want to say hi to Miss Nelson out of Oklahoma.
Hi,
Della.
hi, Della.
She misses you. Hey, as you're coming on board, just hit thumbs up, hit the heart button. Those of you who are joining us don't know Kelly Vella. She is a world-renowned farrier. Did I say that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And basically, for my friends that aren't very smart, that means she puts shoes on horses.
Yes.
Okay. And so the competitions, when you're in like when you went to Australia, what did you walk away? What did you walk away saying? Oh my gosh, I just went to Australia.
Oh yeah, the birds.
For a
birds
competition.
are amazing. You know what? I probably never would have left Northern California if I hadn't started shoeing horses.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I was
That's
just
amazing.
had my own little circle that I lived in of it. But
Yes.
it really opened my eyes. I've been all around the States. I got friends all over the place.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Nice to have people all over the world that you know and that you meet, because not only are there people, it doesn't matter. Like your lovely husband and I, we fish, and we meet people fishing all over the world.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to relate to that. So you're shoeing horses, you are traveling all over the world for competitions. Now the competitions, what do they exist of? Like Vince and I, when we're bass fishing, we could win up to $100,000. Is the prize money high, or is it just more of a bragging rights?
I think the highest prize money was the World Championships up in Calgary, and that was 10 grand Canadian. And I came in fourth, which was about $700 Canadian. But still,
there's a big difference.
Yeah, it's a big feather in your cap, and then you just learn the skills,
Yes. Are you there?
Paul.
There you go. There you go. You broke up a little bit. You said you learned the skills. Repeat that again, if you don't mind.
Oh, just to make any kind of horseshoe I need to, because I've had to make any kind of shoe that I needed to. And
yes,
like the size specifications, you have to come within 3 millimeters of the specimen shoe, which means you have to basically have to fit a foot. So you have to be able to build a shoe that actually fits a horse's foot, because they're all custom fit.
Wow. That makes sense, because each one of us wears different shoes anyway, right? That's kind of how I'd look at it. Now you call home right now Knights Ferry, California.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Knights Ferry.
Oh, it's a cool little town, a little historical town. I think it has an old mill in it or something. A really neat covered bridge. I don't know, maybe 200 people. Has a church and 3 bars.
Okay.
Right on the river. It's a beautiful river, Stanislaus River.
Right on the Stanislaus River.
Yep.
Yes. I was, for those of you, I was born in Oakdale, so I'm Nice Ferries. I used to jump off that bridge all the time. Can you still do that legally? Jump off that bridge?
I'm never going to jump off a bridge. Never, ever, ever.
In high school we did it, but yeah, I wouldn't do that either. So, and you have horses right now?
Yeah,
how many horses do you Vince have?
2 horses. We got Bullet and Hilda, which is plenty. 2 horses, 3 dogs, and a cat, or 2.
And what does a day exist for Kelly when she goes out to your clients shoeing horses? I mean, do you do 15 horses a day? I mean, what does that exist? How does that work?
Yeah, usually we'll shoe 9 or 10, and I'll go to get maybe 1, 2, 3 stops. And I like everybody I work for. I'm working for the same people for years and years and years. I know all the horses, and it's really cool because I just drive around, listen to music, build stuff, hang out with my friends all day. I mean,
How cool is
yeah,
that?
I have a great job. So I get up in the morning at 5, go out and work on knives or build horseshoes or whatever, and then work until maybe 4 or 5, and then go back in the shop until I get tired of being in the shop, build some more stuff, go to sleep, and do it all over again.
And you get up with a smile every morning,
Oh
do it
yeah,
because I know you love what you do.
yeah. No, I love my job.
And absolutely, absolutely. And when you say job, it's really not a job. It's a passion.
Yeah,
It's
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 art. Everything you do is artwork. I mean, every foot is different. It
that's
Yeah, it
amazing.
is really cool. It's always a
Now,
challenge.
now you mentioned something about knives. Okay, tell me a little bit about you make knives.
So, I mean, I've kind of dabbled in it for years, but it was pretty pathetic, and it might still be pretty pathetic, but I'm working at it. Um, and then maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I bought this book on Damascus steel, which is pattern welded steel. It's got a pattern in it, and
Yes.
I looked at the pictures for a few years, and then finally, I actually read a page, which was cool. I'm like, oh, and so I welded some stacks of steel together, and I couldn't figure out how
Yes.
it worked, so I went and mowed the lawn or something. And I'm like, oh, I get it. You're just creating knots in wood. That's what you're doing. So then I went back and turned it into something, which still was not good. And then we had a journeyman bladesmith came out to my house, and so he kind of helped me a little bit. And
Yes.
then I just lost my mind, and that's all I wanted to do.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So I'm getting some comments here. Your knives are awesome. I have a chopper. What's a chopper?
Oh, a chopper. I have a chopper. You want to see a chopper? You
Okay.
sure, Sig?
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's a chopper,
That's
and that's a
okay.
Damascus chopper. Some people might have seen it on TV because I made them give it back to me.
Aha.
So, so anyway, when I was on
Now,
Forge and Fire, I brought this with me the second time.
the History Channel, and I'm going to lead up to that here in a second here.
Uh-oh, I let the cat out of the
Um,
bag. I'm so sorry.
no, no, that's quite all right. That's quite all right. Not at all. But getting some great comments, you guys. Hey, thanks for those as you're coming on board here. Just give me a thumbs up. Give me some love here. But you got a lot of fans,
Okay.
which I'm not surprised. Okay, actually, I shouldn't even call them fans. They're probably your close friends. Okay,
I paid my
um,
friends to comment.
you did,
Yes, I
huh?
did.
See, that's a true business person right
Mm-hmm.
there. Get them online. Look at them. I'm getting thumbs up like crazy now. Okay, so so the chopper, and that's interesting because you make different types now. Okay, you just showed me what a chopper is. Do you have any other samples that you have
um,
handy?
Nothing super exciting because they're always gone. But I made this huge
I got
kitchen
some.
knife, which is not a good kitchen knife. I've learned better about kitchen knives. But I made this really cool
Okay,
pattern, and so I had to put it in a
yes.
knife that was big, but I don't like the welds where they went there and there and there.
Okay.
So I get to own it for forever. And then the bolsters made out of melted quarters. Wait, there we go. Cool, huh?
Wow, that's amazing. So who's Jill Betancourt Rivera? She's
She's
a hoot.
Yeah, she's my old roommate from years ago. We were
Oh,
roommates for a long
okay.
time.
I bet
Hi,
because I can just
Buffy.
tell right now she's a hoot. Anyway, so okay, so as people are coming aboard, just again, we're here with Kelly Vella, who is a professional farrier and a champion at that. Is that correct?
Yes. Wait, I'm not supposed to.
Absolutely. Who's traveled all over the world. And look, my wife is even saying very cool knives, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because every once in a while I have to sleep with one eye open. So I don't know. Um, anyway, that's a whole other thing. But I want to get to the TV show. But before we do, we usually take a break about this time. So just hold on to that thought. We're gonna get into the History Channel, but we'll be back in two and two right after this.
Okay.
Okay, we're back from break now, and we're with Kelly Vella. And Kelly, one of the things that you were on the History Channel. I want to first start off on how the heck that even happened or
So,
how that came about.
so one of the guys I shoot with, Grant, he said, he started talking about the show on TV. He's like, they make knives. It's really cool. He said, he's always watching. Kelly, you can kick any of those guys' ass. And I'm like, really, huh? You can build anything. So yeah, he's kind of building me up, and I've been making knives. And so then, and I had a few more comments from other friends. So I started practicing, but I never actually applied because I was being a pansy about that. But I was happy. I was practicing for the show. And I do 2-hour runs. I do 2 hours to make the blade because they give you 3 on the show. So I figured I should do it in 2. And then they give you 3 hours to do the handle. So I do that in 2 hours too. And then finally I'd been goaded one too many times. And I actually applied for the show, made a bunch of stuff up. I embellished a little bit. It was funny because they asked, they're like, have you ever made an axe? And I did years ago, but I said no. And so I went home after I shot horses and I made 2 axes, like one I punched the eye and one I wrapped it around the eye and, welded stuff in for the bit and whatever. And the next day they asked me the same question. Have you ever made an axe? I'm like, well, yes, I have. So they really liked me. They're kind of pushing for women on the show. So it made it a little easier to get on. But then I got accepted and I'm like, oh, I better get cracking now.
Yes. And what did it take for you to prepare for the show?
The same thing I've been doing. I turned all the fans off because I figured it's supposed to be really hot in there.
Yes.
And so I'm like, I'm not going to work where, I'm not going to be the one sweating and passing out. I'm going to take those guys down. So, and I work in a little corner in a shoe and shop all day long with the forged blast. And so I'm not too worried about that. And, I don't know, the welded up canister Damascus. I stuck random things together. I made knives out of whatever. And drew a lot of pictures just trying to figure out, what I wanted to build and what knife pieces are supposed to be where.
Okay. So now where was the show shot at? By the way, do you hear that background noise, Kelly? Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing some background noise, but it must just be on my end, which is good.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
I got to go to beautiful Queens, New York.
Really?
Yes, I did. And I was there with a 19-year-old from Alabama, and he's like, I got voted the most out of place because I was just like, nobody smiles here. They drive crazy. I don't get it. I want to go home. It smells terrible.
Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, I don't see you. I can't do concrete very good for a long period of time, and that's all it is. It's a concrete jungle. So you're there. How long are you there for the show? How long does it take you to do the whole show and for you to win what you won?
So I was first it was 5 days because it's 2 days flying, a day there and a day back, and then 3 days filming. And then if you make the at-home part, then you have a day flying home, 5 days filming, a day flying back, then one more day to do the final round and to test your final weapons. And then I should have brought my Falcata in here. I made another one. And then a day flying home. So it's like 14 altogether. So it's a huge time commitment.
It is. That is a big time commitment.
Yeah.
And the process was you won the season finale?
No, each show has its own winner.
Oh, each show has its own winner.
Yeah.
And you won.
I did. One time.
And well, but let's talk about that because that's a big thing. I'm not gonna, you had said that the show wanted women on there, and were you the first woman to be on the show?
No, there were others ahead of me.
Okay.
I was just the first one to win it.
So basically, you kicked their ass, right?
I just was in the right. It was a good day for me, and I actually they called me in early, so I didn't go and film the show I was supposed to. They called me in like 3 weeks early, which scared the hell out of me because I'm like, I'm not ready. And the show that I would have been on, because I kind of looked it up, I'd have gotten smoked.
Really?
Pretty sure. It would have been all over for me.
It's now I've watched it a couple of times, and it's almost like an obstacle course, right?
No, it's a different one.
It's a different one.
Well,
Okay.
I guess it's an
All right.
obstacle course because you're tripping over cameramen and stuff.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think of a show like that it might be filmed in Oklahoma or something, but to be filmed in Queens, New York, that's a tough one. It's
Yeah, you're up in Connecticut now. That sounds a little bit better.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, because I could just see, I don't know, just we don't want people with knives in Damascus. No, where did the name Damascus come from? Yeah, I know you've mentioned that a few times, and
Yeah,
to somebody that
I
doesn't
get.
really know,
I guess Damascus was like this huge trading port. So I don't know why the steel ended up being
okay,
called Damascus. I think I read it once
okay,
and forgot.
mm-hmm, wonderful, wonderful. It's not a big deal.
Thanks for that
I know you
information,
did.
Kelly.
Hey, look it
I'm
up,
full, I'm
look it
full of
up.
facts, full of facts.
Yeah, no, great. No, don't even worry about it. You're fine. I think it's amazing that you would win. Now they ask you back again. Is that correct?
I did go back.
They just loved you. They loved you. You made them money.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I am now, if it's my understanding, I think we had talked about this a while ago, that you were unsure if you really wanted to go back, correct? Because of the time commitment.
Yeah, it was the same thing all over again because I've got a really good business at home.
Yes.
So
And here you are.
it's hard to take all that time off.
Absolutely. And but you did go back for the second show, the History
I
Channel,
did, and I did well for a
Orchard File.
while until that thing
Okay.
happened, and then I did not do so well.
Well, tell me about the thing. What
Uh,
do you mean the thing?
so it was little itty bitty canisters of Damascus. So I made three to make this big
Yes.
old knife, which was one and a half too many. And then I just took the can off the middle. When people watch the show know what I'm talking about. You don't watch the show Sieg, so you don't know. But so I just took the can off of the middle one, which was going to be my
Yes.
blade material. Well, the other two on the
Yes.
outside, well, the other two were bigger than the middle one. And then when I welded them together, they kind of lapped around and made a pocket of evil crap, basically. So when I started grinding my edge, I'm like, wow, look at all that evil crap. That's terrible. I was surprised they
Wow.
even tested it. So
Wow.
anyway, then it was over.
But a great experience.
Oh yeah, no, it was awesome. I met so many cool people, and just the folks I met on Facebook and Messenger, and I traveling around and trying to learn this better, and working with some master smiths, and just trading ideas with people. It's awesome, it really is.
And that's one thing I was amazing because when we spoke last week or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, you had said that you're heading up to Idaho to learn.
I did.
So you're always seeking wisdom,
Yeah.
which is a nugget that even when you're at the top of your game like you are, Kelly, you're still able to reach out and seek wisdom with people.
Well, I'm at the top of the knife game, and I'm not at the top of the horseshoe game either. I think if you like mastered it, you're like, wow, this is like the best
Yeah.
anything's ever going to be, and I'm number one, and then it'd be boring.
Yeah,
So I like
absolutely.
to
There'll
I
be no
like to learn
challenge
every
there.
day.
So what's the highest price knife that somebody came to you and said, "Hey, will you make me a knife that you charged?" Can I ask that question?
Yeah, the most I've charged I think is 1,500.
$1,500 for a knife.
Yeah,
Great. So if somebody's watching this evening that says, you know what, I want to see what she's doing, I want to get a knife, how would they be able to get a hold of you?
yeah,
Through
Messenger.
Facebook here?
Yeah, Facebook
Yeah.
Messenger.
Okay. So Kelly Vella,
Vermeer Vella.
um, Vermeer Vella. That's
Exact.
Vermeer.
That's right.
Okay. Through Facebook, and you'd be more than happy to make. Now, do you do you do machetes? Have you done?
Right. Right now, I'm working on getting my journeyman bladesmith.
Yes.
So it's like a certification through the American Bladesmith Society. So
Yes.
I don't even get to make Damascus right now. I need to make 5 perfect, just plain old steel knives. And
Yes.
so I'm like a little kid, just I just want to play Damascus, but I can't right now. I'm just making my 5 perfect knives. So I'm focusing on that. So I'm
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
focused on my education right now. And then
Wonderful.
when I make something, I usually post it on Facebook, and somebody will go nuts over it.
That's true because friends of mine that are watching this right now, if you want to connect with Kelly on Facebook, it's Kelly Vermeer, Vermeer, Vella, Vella, no, double L-A. I never was good in English. My wife will probably give me a thumbs up on that one. But you connect with her because Kelly's just a phenomenal person. I've been blessed to have known her for years. Also, her husband since high school. So, this is the one time where I'd like to just during the show is Kelly, if there's a nugget out there because you are living your dream, your passion. You say I love my job, but really it's your passion. You love that. You're able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. You've traveled all over the world and competed in do I even say that right? Farrier competitions.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay, horseshoeing competitions. You've been on the History Channel, Forged in Fire, made blades, won that, the first woman to ever win. Got invited back again because they loved you so much. And if there's a nugget you could give somebody out there that's saying, you know what, I want something like how do I get that passion that Kelly has? Is there a nugget out there you could share with somebody?
Yeah. Well, I just had one that came to my head and you kept talking and it went away. It was crazy. I don't know, just find a need. You have to be a self-starter and take advantage of your opportunities. So, yeah, don't let those pass by. And there's like little paths we have in life. And some are rocky and some not. And even though, they might be a little rough, I was pretty poor for quite some time, but just happily kept working away. And then,
it's interesting. And by the way, thanks for sharing that. That's a phenomenal nugget. And two, I'd like to add a couple. One is the opportunities. Can you recognize an opportunity if it's presented to you? Kelly said something that, she was poor for a while. And absolutely, it takes a while to learn the skill. My son, who's a senior in high school, he goes, Dad, listen, I just want to make a lot of money. I go, if you're going to want to make a lot of money, you got to seek wisdom out. You got to go seek wisdom first. Money is a result. Money is a result. And, when I'm consulting with businesses and working with people, that's the first thing I ask them is, what's your dream? What's your passion? Go for that. And don't worry about the money. Everybody wants money, but the one thing about money is you got to do something with it. Okay, but how do you get that money? And Kelly, you're stellar with what you've done. I appreciate you coming on this evening, sharing those nuggets, but sharing your story. It's so important to get that out there. Thank you so much. From Central California in the foothills, Knights Ferry, with all the animals and your husband, of course, Vinny. So thanks. It's been a pleasure to have you as a friend and as a guest on here with Conversations With. I'm just going to leave this with everybody. Hey, always lead with honor, honesty, and integrity.
Exactly.
Always strive to be living your dream. Okay. Sometimes you have to fight for that, right, Kelly? You have to fight for that dream.
Oh, definitely.
But what is your dream? Write that down. Keep it in front of you. It's so important. Surround yourself with people like Kelly Vella, who is going places. You have friends that want to see you succeed, those who are listening. So again, I can be found at sigtaylor.com. Kelly, thank you so much. Everybody go in peace. Good night. Good night, Kelly.
Good night.
Bye-bye.